Introducing Mr. Money.
Send your money
instantly.
Top up your airtime
Instantly.
Pay your bills
Instantly.
Airtel money
Instantly.
Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money
Instantly.
Top up your airtime
Instantly.
Pay your bills
Instantly.
Airtel money
Instantly.
Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Pure Jungle.
You're just in time for the main news on Prime Television. My name is Kalan Chima with the presentation. A quick look at the headlines. FRA refuses to call back workers for breaking a story about their plight to Prime TV. PF described as a corrupt regime difficult to compete with in elections. South African peace and human rights activist Archbishop Desmond Tutu arrives in the country. In foreign news, Nigeria church collapse leaves 41 dead. For these and other exciting news items, stay with us. news in detail. The Food Reserve Agency, FRA, at Mwembeshi Depot in Lusaka has allegedly refused to take back its casual workers after they broke a story about their plight and poor working conditions to Prime Television. The workers have complained that they are not being told the truth by FRA management regarding their stay at the company. They have told Prime TV in an interview that management at FRA Depot asked them to report for work on Monday, but have again been told to report on Wednesday. The workers have appealed to Labour Minister Faxon Shamenda to intervene in the matter and ensure that the workers are taken back on board. Some workers have also complained of lack of a proper management communication between them and management to resolve the impasse.
Are casual workers at Food Reserve Agency at Mwembeshi Depot in Lusaka. The workers are filled with fear to speak to us after management threatened not to reinstate them following the comments. They say after breaking the silence to Prime TV concerning their plight and poor working conditions at the company, management has not allowed them to return to work. But some workers who were fearless managed to break the silence and had this to say.
Pakudandaula pandarama pamene apo panapezeka vuto yoti wafuna utipishirapo ntchito siwatipasa but wakangochosa chewedi yoti wakambatita kupishani ntchito venze vanatiuza pa Thursday kuti mukabwere pa Monday lero tabwera va PMC vatichita address but walesa kufunsa po question iliyonse vatiuza futi atikabwerereko pa Wednesday manje nchikusevenza kuti zambo soche tabwera kuno tabona na chena unobwera kunyumba manyumba yeti nkhalamo ni yalendi
manasta captured ma photos ati waja bantu bafunika opishiwa ntchito manje ndio mamene chifuniko nkalira muntu kaonekera pa kamera monga mamene nikambira pano ati ntchito ifuniko osira nishinifaita ma lights yali yanga so vandia kirira ma lights kusaidi kwanga.
Here all these guys we are seeing here, they are not working ever since we were paid. Maybe they are trying to punish us or what, we don't know, or we don't even know our fate, because each time we come here we are being turned away. Come tomorrow, come on a particular day. Until this month we will have to elapse.
In a follow-up by Prime TV, security at the depot became unfriendly and tempted to block Prime TV journalists from entering the premises for the story.
They are casual workers. Yes. I'm sorry on that one. I'm sorry. Casual workers for which company? I'm sorry on that one.
In an attempt to get a comment from the company, management referred all the queries to the public relations officer, who indicated had not received a report from the Mwembeshi Depot. Right behind me are casual workers that have been told to go back home after they reported the matter to media stations about them not being paid of their salaries that the company, the Food Reserve Agency, has been owing them for months now. Gwen Wheeler reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
Renowned South African peace and human rights activist Archbishop Desmond Tutu has arrived in the country to spearhead programs to end child marriages. Archbishop Tutu, who is accompanied to Zambia by Girls Not Brides chairperson Mabel Van Orange, arrived in the country around 15-20 hours aboard S African airline. And briefing the media shortly after his arrival, Archbishop Tutu called for concerted efforts in ending child marriages. While in the country, Archbishop Tutu and Miss Orange will meet several stakeholders in the fight against child marriages. Zambia is estimated to have the highest rates of child marriages in the world, with about 42% of girls being married off before they reach their 18th birthday, while 15 million girls around the world are also believed to be married off before they reach 18 years. According to the United Nations, it estimates that around 700 million women alive today were married off as children, which accounts for about 10% of the world's population. Realizing that this global trend is getting out of hand, an organization calling for an end to child marriages, Girls Not Brides, has organized meetings in Osaka to find ways of ending the scourge. One key member in these efforts to end child marriages is renowned South African peace and human rights activist Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who is also Girls Not Brides co-founder. Archbishop Tutu together with Girls Not Brides chairperson Mabel Van Orange, have since arrived in the country to spearhead the programs. The two arrived at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport around 15-20 hours aboard S African Airline. Speaking shortly after their arrival, the two called for concerted efforts in ensuring that early marriages are completely eradicated.
We were speaking about 10 million girls married in a year around the world. That figure has shot up, very, very worryingly, to 15 million. What do you see?
It's a girl every 2 seconds gets married.
Every 2 years.
So think about it.
Yeah.
It's a girl, another one, all under 18. Some as young as 9 or 11, or you remember the 7-year-old we once met. Delighted to be here, to listen and to learn about what's happening around the issue of child marriage in Zambia. Zambia has one of the highest rates of child marriage in the world, among the 20 countries with the highest rate of child marriage. In fact, 42% of all girls are married by the age of 18.
While in the country, the two will meet a range of groups who have a role to play in efforts to end child marriages. These include civil society organizations, government officials, youth groups, faith and religious groups, among others. Kalan Chima reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka. Suspected PF cadres have now started mounting up makeshift structures behind intercity bus terminus in Lusaka. The move by the cadres has infiltrated the residents of Zambia Railways compound, who have vowed to stop the cadres. The residents indicate that the structures will block the road and have appealed to the area councillor to intervene in the matter. In an attempt by Prime TV News team to visit the premises for a follow-up story, unknown persons tipped the news crew that some aggrieved persons wanted to harass the Prime TV staff for breaking up the story.
Some suspected PF cadres have now slowly but surely started erecting some makeshift structures behind intercity bus terminus. The action has received much resentment from Zambia Railways compound residents who feel this could swallow up the road. The residents have appealed to government to intervene in the matter before the situation gets out of hand. But PF defended the action, saying the move was meant to modernize the place and protect people from blocking the drainage.
To change this area to be modern area. So yes, you want to make this area clean. Because want to go to my shift stores like you said, and go free. About cleanliness.
In a follow-up story by Prime TV, the news team received information that some aggrieved persons were after beating up the news team for first breaking the story. Prime TV news team had no choice but left the place for safety reasons. Reporting for Prime TV News, Daniel Tonga, Lusaka.
The people of Mukolo Ward 12 in Linda compound have petitioned the PF government to consider them for development. The residents have expressed sadness that the area has little to show for in terms of development, as nothing is being done for them. They claim that Linda compound, which is about 12 kilometers from the central business district of Lusaka, has no health center or a secondary school, as people have to access such facilities from neighboring compounds. The residents were speaking during a sensitization meeting held by the UPND in the area. Linda compound in Chilanga district is one of the oldest and most populated compounds in Lusaka province. But this compound has remained stagnant in the area of development, making it a sad scenario to the residents. For example, the roads in the area are in a deplorable state, requiring urgent attention. The water situation is nothing to talk about, as women have to wake up as early as 05 hours to fetch the life-saving commodity. Sanitation is another challenge, as heaps of uncollected garbage just lie in the middle of the only market in the area. The residents are not happy with this situation.
tukutita bwe uyende upape nikuchiranga muone pena ngwadwala usiku zaenda branch clinic mwe mulibe mwana kadwala lo usiku wanga mwana nadwala 23 hours tinakwera motoka kusola kwenda na mendo paka ZMS kukwera motoka kwenda kuchawama booking 200 go car 23 hours marodi si agini manzi tichitamanya naso akaukachedo peza manzi mso 19 hours 20 hours mtapa manzi achoka yachoka
income generating programs. The other thing, employment youths. Youth are basically a chochika, then is a pesa population ya lamu sisa nakuu, wayo. Isa nakua basi. Kuwacha kwa aleza zamu kabisa.
Manana bila kudala ngasunoke 04 manzi kutatapi kapani thaubanje. Ikawa itina akavala manzi. Elo manzi ndio moyo zama kumwachana. Makliniki ngasinafanya jani kutuka pana ulupeta kutupeleke mwana kuchawama olokatiwe chitumbi chole la munyumba mwana kela munyumba kumandwa jani tilipo chanizira.
But UPND officials who are in the National Coordinating Committee, Gilbert Lusaniso and his counterpart Samuel Ngwira, who recently visited the place, strongly believe that the situation can only be reversed with a good government in place.
So iwe bantu bakuno kwalinga ngamzaka paka mnapanga mu 2011 iyo ni chili problem ni chimwabomeleza ati chizawa abazimai bazichana pamanzi pati mwabomeleza chizawa muzipita tabe mu malodi ele vina mapoto magrini kuna mwalinga aliangati
problem tinao tose pale kasa sanga kwa katika kama change akapo sama problems za mbele ngoza nene ndio kusababisha development inakwani amene mfumani na problem what why ile mtapanga imwe ndio za kuanza campaign manyumba what problem ndani ni ndiso kwa kulinda
With such cries from the people, it is only hoped that a development will start trickling to places like Linda Compound. Kalan Mchiman reporting for Prime TV News in Chilanga District. Zambia Alliance of Women, ZO, has expressed happiness that more women are now holding up decision-making positions in the country. ZO Programs Manager Caesar Kateven says the more women get positions, the easier it will be for the country to attain its Millennium Development Goals. Speaking in an interview with Prime TV News, Mr. Kateven says with many women filling up leadership positions, the numbers of women suffering will also reduce. He charges that this is an opportune time for women to come out and take up leadership positions. Mr. Kateve's comments follow the election of some women as members of parliament in the just ended by-elections.
Having elected these women, we think that it's a positive direction for the constituencies. More importantly, that these representatives that have been sent to parliament will be able to ably represent these constituencies with a view of ensuring that development takes place in these constituencies. For example, issues of water and sanitation are key to the lives of our women and children. So these are some of the issues that we think that these women will also be able to bring to Parliament with a view of ensuring that government allocates more resources to these sectors so that women can have access to clean and safe drinking water. I mean, women are walking very long distances to fetch water. So I think that this is a very important stride that Zambia has scored in the recent by-elections.
This is Prime Television's main news. We take our first break. Join me shortly for more news just after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money!
Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant. Girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Thank you so much for staying with us, and now for the rest of the news. UPND President Hakainde Hichilema has described the PF as a corrupt regime which is difficult to compete with in elections. He says the PF, as a party in government, breaks the electoral rules with impunity, disadvantaging other political parties. He cited the distribution of money to the electorate, use of government machineries such as helicopters, cars, among others, as offences the PF commit, but are never reprimanded by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ. Mr. Hichilema observed with concern that party officials and ministers are now freely using Zambia Air Force ZAF helicopters for campaigns, a facility only reserved for the president and his vice. Mr. Hichilema has meanwhile congratulated all the political parties that scooped some seats in the just-ended by-elections held in 5 constituencies. This is according to a statement issued by Mr. Hichilema and posted on his Facebook page. The Zambia National Federation for the Blind has called on government to consider increasing allocations to institutions that look into the plight of disabled persons in the country. Federation President Keishi Chisambi hopes that government has put into consideration the plight of persons living with a disability in the budget to be presented in October. Speaking in an interview with the Prime TV, Mr. Chisambi explains that for a long time now, institutions mandated to deal with persons with a disability, such as his federation, are low-funded compared to other organizations. Mr. Chisambi has further called for the domestication of the Disability Act to give them more powers to voice out their concerns.
We have made submissions
here and there to government to consider raising fundings to institutions that are charged with responsibilities to take care of persons with disabilities, because the meager resources that are allocated to, for example, Ministry of Community Development, these are the Zambia Agency for Persons with Disabilities, hinder the development of activities to benefit the persons with disabilities. And that ministry and also the agency, they have got a leeway. They will say, but we are given insufficient funding, so we cannot tackle this, or you want this.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia says the pilot electronic transmission of election results in Vubwi and Kasanengwa was carried out successfully. ECZ Public Relations Officer Rachel Piri says in Kasanengwa constituency the first results through the electric system from Shekela polling station were received successfully. Mr. Piri adds that in Vubwi constituency the first electronic results were also transmitted electronically without any problems. He says the Commission is also happy that the conduct of political parties during the campaign period leading to September 11th by-elections. Mr. Piri said this in a statement issued to Prime TV News in Lusaka. Insurance Association of Zambia, IAZ, has urged government to zero-rate the premiums on non-life insurance services and create incentive measures in the insurance sector. IAZ President Shimpango Muteto says insurance companies play an important role in development, and having companies will help promote the growth of insurance industries in Zambia. Mr. Muteto says that the government of Zambia must focus to hasten the reform in the health insurance sector. He says the industry over the years has not been done well, and it is pleasing to note that measures are now being put in place. And speaking at the same briefing, Pensions for Industries Association representative Martin Livenga says health insurance regulations provides stability in the country.
Want to highlight the main key areas that we feel should be seriously considered in this year's budget. One, we strongly believe that tax incentives for the Zambians who want to take up various life policies should be provided, as this will ultimately help the country when each and every individual that takes a life policy as a way of protecting families.
The PIA has been working tirelessly.
We apologize for that technical error. However, before we go for our second break, we now look at how the kwacha is performing against other major currencies as compiled by Prime TV. We go for a break.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
We now turn to foreign news. A building that was a part of a mega church complex run by one of Nigeria's most famous preachers has collapsed in the capital Lagos, killing 41 people, rescuers said as they worked to clear the site. Ibrahim Feroloi, spokesman in Lagos for Nigeria's National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says they had 41 people dead. So far, 123 people have been rescued from the site in Ekotan district. The exact number of the people missing has yet to be confirmed. The disaster happened as the 3 additional floors were being added to the 2-story building, reportedly a guest house for foreign followers of T.B. Joshua's The Synagogue Church of All Nations. The disaster happened as 3 additional floors. This happened on the 12th of September 2014. Toronto Mayor Rob Ford, who gained global notoriety for admitting he smoked crack cocaine, dropped his re-election bid citing a health crisis, but his older brother took his place in the race to run Canada's largest city. The family switch was made minutes before a deadline for changes to the city election ballot, which also saw a Ford nephew withdraw to allow his uncle, the mayor, to run for a city council seat in his place, reports Reuters on Friday. The October 27th election is seen as a referendum on Ford's fall to Matter's years leading Toronto, as a recent polls had shown him in second place in the tight 3-way race. Dong Ford, the mayor's older brother and campaign manager, is regarded as less charismatic but less volatile than his larger-than-life sibling, who steadfastly refused to resign, even as he admitted buying illegal drugs while in office and checked himself into rehab. We have more on this and other foreign news in this roundup by Al Jazeera.
The French President, Francois Hollande, says the world must not waste any time in coming together to defeat the Islamic State group. He spoke at a conference in Paris to drum up support to combat the group. Ministers from 30 countries and more are attending. The United Nations says fighting in Iraq is creating a severe humanitarian crisis. Half of the 1.8 million displaced Iraqis are living in open fields, abandoned buildings and schools, and that means many children can't go to class. Security forces have killed a number of suspected rebels in Egypt. The Interior Minister says 7 suspected members of the Ansar Bayt al-Maqdis group died. He says they were ambushed in Suez City after several recent attacks on policemen. Sweden's opposition party has defeated the centre-right ruling coalition in a parliamentary election, but the left-leaning Social Democrats didn't win enough seats to form a majority government. Hurricane Odile has made landfall on Mexico's Baja Peninsula. The U.S. National Hurricane Service reports winds of up to 195 kilometers per hour. That is one of the worst recorded storms to hit the region. Tens of thousands of tourists and residents are in emergency shelters. Almost 150,000 people are still stranded after severe flooding in Indian-administered Kashmir. Authorities are working to stop the spread of waterborne illnesses and restore the highway linking Kashmir to the rest of India. Across the border in Pakistan, flooding has displaced or affected at least 2 million people. A boat carrying 250 African immigrants has sunk in the Mediterranean Sea. It happened off the Libyan coast near the city of Tajura. 26 people have been rescued, but a Libyan Navy spokesman says he fears many others have drowned. The United States is calling for the immediate release of a US citizen who's been sentenced to 6 years hard labor in North Korea. In a trial lasting just 90 minutes, Matthew Miller was convicted of attempted espionage. Pope Francis has pronounced 20 Italian couples as man and wife. The mass wedding at the Vatican included couples who had been cohabiting. Catholic tradition says sex outside marriage is a sin, but Francis said marriage was, quote, real life, not some TV show.
The headlines as we conclude our main news. FRA refuses to call back workers for breaking a story about their plight to Prime TV. PF described as a corrupt regime difficult to compete with in elections. South African peace and human rights activist Archbishop Desmond Tutu arrives in the country. And in foreign news, Nigeria church collapse leaves 41 dead. That's all we could accommodate on the news desk. Thank you so much for your time. May God bless you. On behalf of everybody else, my name is Kalan Chima. Bye-bye for now.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money.
Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.